Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there's lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Gareth Bale. Haven't spoken with you about Gareth Bale for quite some time now. Also going to be giving you the latest news on Paul Pogba because a bit more additional information is updated about him. By the way, like I mentioned on my previous video, which is still uploading, the Premier League have confirmed a start date. The Premier League is resuming on the 17th of June, which I think is on a Wednesday, and I think it's going to be finishing on the 25th of July. Don't forget, there is 9 games remaining in the Premier League season, and I think there's around 92 games to play in all competitions. Don't forget the Premier League has been suspended for around, 10 weeks or something like that. It has been suspended since the 13th of March and that. But like I mentioned to you guys the other week, when the Premier League had confirmed on a statement that clubs had voted to return to smaller training groups, I did say then that was a step closer to resuming the season and that. I think, by the way, we've had contact training recently and that. But yeah, so this is a very, very good news. And like I mentioned, we've got quite a few priorities, for when the season resumes. We've got the FA Cup, we've got the Europa League, and that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board because we're into the last 8 of the Europa League, we're into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And if we can win both of them or win at least one of them, it will be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because we've not won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. And also, too, we are chasing that top 4. Don't forget, we are sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment, and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea. And it's very, very imperative that we get qualification for the Champions League for next season so we can attract players to the elite level and that. So there you go. But I'm very, very glad, that the football season is resuming. Obviously, games are going to be played behind closed doors. But obviously, it's been confirmed now a start date. But obviously, a lot of other dates have been mentioned before this meeting. Today, obviously, there was talks of the season resuming on the 19th, the 18th, or the 12th of June and that. But I did say it depends on the fitness levels. But we've got a fully fit squad for when the season resumes. Obviously, we've got Rashford now back from his back injury, and we've also got Paul Pogba back as well. So I just want to confirm that with you guys. So now let's delve into the news on Gareth Bale. So, reportedly, Manchester United wanted to sign Gareth Bale when he was at Southampton. Now, don't forget, Gareth Bale began his footballing career at Southampton. This is when, obviously, he was a lot younger. Now, he said we'd submitted a or was it a £4 million bid, but this had been turned down by Southampton. Now, the main explanation for this is because Southampton at that point had sold Theo Walcott for around £12 million. So this is, why Southampton at that point did not want to sell Gareth Bale. George Bale has recently spoken about how interested Manchester United were in signing Gareth Bale when he was at Southampton. And I think George Bale did reveal that he had negotiations with Sir Alex Ferguson. I think actually, Sir Alex Ferguson had held an hotel meeting in a bid to sign Gareth Bale. But we've been in for Gareth Bale for several years in that. Now, obviously, Bale left Southampton in 2007. I think didn't Tottenham pay around £6 or £7 million for him, and Bale endured 6 exceptional years with Tottenham. Then obviously in 2013, Gareth Bale left Tottenham to join Real Madrid. He's still at Real Madrid now. I think this has been his 7th season with Real Madrid. Real Madrid did pay around £85 million to him from Tottenham. At that point, he was a record signing, was Gareth Bale. Like I said, my element of concern about Gareth Bale, he is very, very injury prone. I think he has got a contract with Real Madrid until 2022. I think he's 30 or 31 years of age, Gareth Bale and that. But we have been in for him for quite a few. We've been in for him quite a few times. So that is the latest news on that. But Real Madrid are looking to offload Gareth Bale. I think it was last summer, if I can remember rightly, that he'd been offered around £1 million to go and play in China and that. I'm not too sure if there was a fee involved, but he was offered £1 million a week to go and play in China and that. But obviously, he ended up remaining at Real Madrid. I think, Real Madrid are going to find it very, very difficult to recoup the £85 million that they did pay for him from Tottenham. But Ferguson even admitted, that he tried to, sign Gareth Bale. Don't forget, we also tried to re-sign Cristiano Ronaldo, like, Alex Ferguson revealed and that. So that is the latest news on Gareth Bale. But Gareth Bale's versatility is good because he can play on the left wing, he can play on the right wing. I think when he was younger during his Southamoton days, he was a left back and that. So that is the latest news on that. Now let's delve into the news on Paul Pogba. So according to recent reports, Real Madrid have offered up to 4 of their players in a swap deal for Paul Pogba. Now, the players that have been mentioned is Martin Odegaard, Lucas Vazquez, he's also been mentioned, James Rodriguez has been mentioned, and Brahim Diaz, he's also been mentioned as well. So Real Madrid have given us a choice of up to 4 players, so they can try and sign Paul Pogba and that, because Real Madrid are still interested in signing him. Now, don't forget last summer, Paul Pogba was relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid. Paul Pogba did make the admission last summer saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. He didn't only admit that he wanted to leave Man United, he publicly admitted that he wanted to leave Manchester United. But the main explanation why Pogba's move to Real Madrid didn't materialise last summer was reflecting on the substantial amount we put on him. Because last summer we said we wanted around £180 million for Paul Pogba, and Real Madrid were not willing to meet that valuation. But Pogba's preference last summer was definitely to make a move to Real Madrid, because last year in that, Paul Pogba was talking a lot about Real Madrid, about his dreams of playing under Zinedine Zidane and that, so there you go. But what's been coming out recently is totally contrast to what was coming out a few weeks ago, because it said a few weeks ago, and this was stemming from Marca, which is a Spanish newspaper, and they said that Real Madrid are no longer interested in Pogba, reflecting on his substantial wages. Real Madrid have got a lot of other players on their agenda as well. They've obviously, planning. I think they're planning to sign Mbappe in 2021. They're also planning to sign Haaland. Is it next summer or in the summer of 2022? They've also had quite a few midfielders on their agenda of Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, I think, spent a good £280 or £290 million last summer, and I think they recruited around 5 or 6 players in. Obviously, the sign was Eden Hazard. They signed Luka Jovic. I don't think Real Madrid have been satisfied with Luka Jovic. They also signed Eder Militao, Ferland Mendy, Rodrigo and that. But they're looking to do more transfer business when the summer transfer window does open. Like I said, they're also looking to get rid of players as well at Real Madrid. Obviously, they're looking to get rid of Gareth Bale, like I mentioned. Karim Benzema's coming to an end of his career. Also to Jovic, Dani Ceballos, they're looking to get rid of him permanently. Looking to get rid of Dani Ceballos permanently. Who else are looking to get rid of? James Rodriguez, they're also looking to get rid of him as well. So there you go. So Real Madrid, want to get rid of quite a few players. Don't forget, by the way, Real Madrid are the richest club in the world. So let's just put that into the equation. So that's the news on that. Real Madrid have offered up to 4 of their players, to try and get Paul Pogba and that. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is convinced that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United for next season. But I'm not too sure about the foreseeable future, because obviously Solskjaer wants to partner up Paul Pogba with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, because they've not yet had the chance to play together in our midfield, and I think Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield, will complement each other fantastically well. They really, really will, and that they'll complement each other fantastically well. And that. So there you go. But Real Madrid, are not the only ones that have been in for Paul Pogba. There's been quite a few clubs that have been in for him. Don't forget there's been talks about Paul Pogba going back to Juventus. I did say, didn't I, if Paul Pogba does leave Manchester United, he will make a return back to Turin. You know, because like I mentioned, Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus, but the vast majority of his performances at Man United since he rejoined have been totally comparison to his ones in Turin. Don't forget we paid 89 million for Pogba, so he is our most expensive signing. He is our most expensive signing, and I did say if we was to sell him in the summer transfer window, you know, it'd be very imperative that we get more money than what we paid for him. I think we have said, you know, we do want around £100 million if we are to let him go in the summer transfer window and that. He did actually, you know, recently say that Juventus have recently dropped their interest in Pogba, and I think they made the admission saying that it's going to be impossible for them to re-sign Paul Pogba this summer and that, because Juventus obviously, you know, can't meet his valuation and that. Also too, Juventus want Paul Pogba to take a pay cut on his 15 million a year wages at Manchester United, you know, so he can go back to them. Swap deals have been on the agenda as well with Juventus. Like I said, obviously, you know, there's been talks of Rabiot coming in for Pogba going back to Juventus. Juventus have also offered us Federico Bernardeschi in recent weeks, have also offered us Aaron Ramsey. Miralem Pjanic's been mentioned, Douglas Costa. Also, too, Matthijs de Ligt got mentioned a while back. You know, so Juventus, you know, have offered quite a few of their players, you know, to try and get Paul Pogba. So there you go. Like it revealed last week, was it? It said Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, had been in discussions with Juventus. Also, he's held some talks with Real Madrid because Mini Raiola has been working on getting he's been working on getting his client a transfer away from Manchester United completed. He has been working on it for at least the last couple of years. But we have been very, very critical of Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, reflecting on some of the comments he has said since the turn of the year. I think also too, Ed Woodward has had some negotiations, you know, with Mini Raiola, you know, to try and resolve Paul Pogba's future at the football club, because like I mentioned, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Don't forget, Teddy Sheringham was recently talking about Pogba. He gave his own verdict on it, and he insists, you know, that Paul Pogba, you know, must leave Manchester United. He was talking about, you know, Paul Pogba lacking the Roy Keane factor. And he says Manchester United need a replacement with the right mentality and the right desire. Don't forget, Teddy Sheringham is a Manchester United legend and that. So, you know, this is, you know, what Teddy Sheringham had said. Pogba's got a year left in his contract, but the club do have an option to extend it by a further year. Don't forget, you know, in like the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know, the likes of PSG have been interested in Pogba. Also, too, Inter Milan have been interested in Paul Pogba as well. Don't forget, Inter Milan have already recruited 3 of our players. You know, they got young offers, they got Lukaku offers, and they got Alexis Sanchez offers as well. They got Alexis Sanchez offers as well. Sorry about that. They got Alexis Sanchez offers as well. So they've already recruited 3 of our players, and maybe Antonio Conte is keen on reuniting with Paul Pogba and that. So yeah, so you know, quite a few clubs, you know, have been in for him. Don't forget, Barcelona have been in for Paul Pogba in the past and that. I think the best we saw of Paul Pogba was in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, was the interim manager. That's, you know, when we saw the best of Paul Pogba. Like I said, you know, Paul Pogba endured a very, very difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era. But, you know, like I said, a lot of top players endured a difficult time under the Mourinho era because Jose Mourinho's got a bad reputation with the top players. Don't forget, we had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances and that. But it's good now that he's recovered from injury, Pogba. Like I said, he's only played 8 times this season for the football club. His appearances have been limited due to his injuries and that. You know, the last game Paul Pogba played was on Boxing Day in our 4-1 win against Newcastle. And the last time he started from the start was back in September. Paul Pogba has won 2 trophies at the football club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. And he's 27 years of age, so Pogba has still got a lot of years ahead of him in that. So yeah, so that is the latest news on that, you know, but there's still a lot of uncertainty over his future, and we've got to make a decision on Pogba's future. I still think personally is going to be staying at the football club and that, So yeah, so that is the latest news on that. Now, obviously, as I updated you as well on my recent video, which is nearly uploaded now, or it might have already uploaded. I gave you the news, didn't I, on Angel Gomez. Reports have been stemming from the mainstream media today saying that Man United have offered Angel Gomez a new contract. And I think it's our final contract offer, and we've offered him around 1.5 million a year for him to stay at Manchester United. So 1.5 million equates to around £30,000 a week, with bonuses for the appearances, goals and trophies won. Whether Angel Gomez accepts his contract offer or not, I do not know. Don't forget, we have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but he has turned these down. These clubs that are interested in Angel Gomez, don't forget Chelsea are interested in him, or have been interested in him. Arsenal have been in for him also too. Barcelona have been in for Angel Gomez and that. But we want Angel Gomez to stay at the football club. We want him to stay at the football club, and this is why, we are trying to get him a new contract. If we don't get him a new contract, Angel Gomez will leave on a free at the end of next month, because that's when his current contract does expire. But I think Angel Gomez has got, strong reservations about getting into the first team, and I think he has revealed that he's frustrated with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer over the picking of 3 players, and that's Playere, Lingard and Juan Mata. Don't forget Angel Gomez recently named his idols, and his idols are Ronaldo, Tevez, and I think he mentioned Nani as well, But up until this point, Angel Gomez has spent the entirety of his career with a football club. I think he has been in our senior squad since 2017. But his appearances have been limited this season. Angel Gomez has only made 6 first team appearances this season, And I think he's only played 10 times in total in the senior squad. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty over his future, Angel Gomez's. But, we've already said, we do want him to, stay at the football club. But actually, Chelsea did say they were very, very convinced that they can sign Angel Gomez. Don't forget, Angel Gomez became the youngest ever player to represent Man United since Duncan Edwards back in the 1950s. Also became the first player born in the 2000s to appear in the Premier League. And Angel Gomez is only the age of 19 in that. So I think this is our final contract offer now. I think Angel Gomez would be looking for somewhere in the region of £30,000 a week anyway to sign a new contract at Man United. But I think if he signs a new contract and commits his future with the club, he'll get more opportunities. But Angel Gomez is not the only player, that's found game time very, very difficult. You've got the likes of Tahith Chong. He's also found game time very, very difficult. You've also got James Garner. He's also found game time very, very difficult. I think, the football club, to be honest with you, are going to be loaning James Garner out and that. So quite a few players' appearances have been limited. Quite a few players' appearances have been limited at the football club. So there you go and that. So there you go. So, also, like I mentioned on my, just need to take this off for a second. So, like I mentioned on my recent video as well, I give you the news on Odion Ighalo, didn't I? And it did mention that Shanghai Shenhua will allow Odion Ighalo's loan at Manchester United to be extended until January, providing that Odion Ighalo does sign a 2-year deal worth £400,000 a week, because this is the contract that Shanghai Shenhua have offered him. So we could actually extend his loan until January. Don't forget, Odion Ighalo's agent recently came out. His agent said that Odion Ighalo is close to agreeing a contract extension with Manchester United. This is what his agent had revealed. But there again, earlier on this week, it did say that it's likely that Odion Ighalo will leave the football club by next week. This is what it said, because his current contract does expire on the 31st of May, which is on Sunday. We're trying everything we can, to extend his loan deal at the football club. As far as I'm aware at the moment, we've not yet put an offer into Shanghai Shenhua. We still do remain in talks with Shanghai Shenhua and that. But Solskjaer, does want to get his loan deal extended, and Ighalo himself wants to stay at the football club. Now, don't forget, Shanghai Shenhua did say that they do want around £20 million to let Odion Ighalo go on the permanent transfer. Maybe we've got reservations though about paying £20 million, to get him permanently in that. His wages at Shanghai Shenhua are like £300,000 a week. I think we're paying like a third of his wages at the moment, so we're like paying around £100,000 a week and that. So there you go. I think it did mention earlier on this week that wanted to extend his loan for a further 3 months, but Shanghai Shenhua had turned this proposal down. We got Odion Ighalo in on loan in January. We did pay around, was it £4 million to get him on loan. And to be fair, he has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career as Odion Ighalo. Like I mentioned, he has been a very, very good cover-up to Marcus Rashford and that. But like I've said, which striker should Manchester United sign, because there has been a hell of a lot of strikers on our agenda and that. So yeah, so all the news on that, and also my recent video I give you the latest news on Timo Werner from RB Leipzig. I mentioned Moussa Dembele, he's been another strike on our agenda. I also mentioned Erling Haaland. Don't forget we went in for Erling Haaland in January. It was a shame that we didn't get Haaland in January, because it would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing and that. And so it was a shame we didn't get him. And like I mentioned, it's very, very unlikely that we're going to get Haaland in the summer transfer window. We could wait until next summer or the summer of 2022 to get Haaland, because I think that's when his release clause does become active. I think his release clause is around £60 million and that. The news on Joshua King. He's the latest striker to be on our agenda, because it said that we're seeing him as an alternative to Odion Ighalo. But there again, Odion Ighalo could still stay at the football club and that. So there you go. By the way, it's confirmed that we are the richest club in the Premier League, and overall we are the second richest club in the world. I think we are worth around 2.84 billion. I think that was the figure that was mentioned. I updated you, didn't I, on my video this morning that I did. Our loan, we have taken a £140 million loan from the We've taken a £140 million loan from our 150 million revolving. We've taken a £140 million loan from our 150 million revolving credit facility. That's it. Struggle to get my words out then. So yeah, this is what we've done. Taken £140 million loan. Obviously, to help us get through the coronavirus crisis, and to obviously, fund moves in the summer and that. So, this could help us out. So, probably, Solskjaer could get a transfer budget of around £150 million and that, because, that's it. And obviously, it was last Thursday that our financial figures had got revealed. Obviously, our debt had risen up by around 130 million, almost 130 million, I think. And our net debt is now around 429.1 million, with the club no longer predicting revenues of up to £580 million. Don't forget also, Ed Woodward revealed on the statement last week that, the coronavirus pandemic is one of the hardest moments in Manchester United's 142-year history. This is what he also mentioned, Ed Woodward. And I think it did say in the first 18 days of lockdown that cost the club 23 million, but I think the coronavirus pandemic has cost us around 28 million pounds. But we do expect the final figure to be higher than that. But like I said, a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window. And I think, we can be competitive in the summer transfer window. And I think the top 6 sides do fear our transfer strategy for the summer transfer window. But, like Solskjaer made the admission a couple of weeks ago, he did say that, we are going to enjoy a different, transfer window, to the recent ones that we've enjoyed. And that. Obviously, Ed Woodward did say himself, was it last month, that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. This is what he said, won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So in that aspect, he ruled out big transfers to Manchester United, and he did say, we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds on players and all of that. So, this is what Ed Woodward had said. But Ed Woodward is still determined to back Solskjaer, and he's also said on a few occasions this season that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe at Manchester United, even though we have enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And I think also too the Glazers are willing to back Solskjaer because the Glazers recently revealed their stance on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future. I think it did reveal that we've paid approximately 1.5 million in 15 years for the privilege of being owned by the Glazers, because don't forget the Glazers have been at Man United since 2005 and now it's 2020, so yeah, they've been here 15 years. Don't forget the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the football club either, even though it did reveal last year that the Glazers, were talking with the Saudi Arabians, but they was only willing to let Saudi Arabian Coliseum by around 20% of the share in that. So the Glazers have no intentions of leaving, and we've been very, very critical of the Glazers. We've also been very, very critical of Ed Woodward, and Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. The main explanations why I've been critical of Woodward is, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy has been in the last 6 or 7 years. Also, he's been criticised for his poor selection of managers, because like I said, we've sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho on that. And Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. And he's been criticised for us, overpaying for players, because I will make the admission we have overpaid for players in recent years, definitely in that. So there you go. Like I said, I was, a lot of United fans, including me, have been very, very critical of Solskjaer. I was very critical of him earlier on this season. At one point, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting the sack, but he didn't. And at that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. There was talks of, obviously, Massimiliano Allegri also coming in. Don't forget, Pochettino was linked with a managerial role at Man United before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March and that. But Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at the club, and he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows, because it is a transition period, and like he revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period and that. So there you go. But like I've said to you, I've seen improvements under Solskjaer, than what I saw under Mourinho. What I mean is, we've improved in the transfer markets under Solskjaer, Solskjaer, has enjoyed 3 transfer windows at the club so far, and he's spent, over £200 million on 5 players. Obviously, last summer got Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. And of course, in January, he got Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo. And so he's made 4 permanent signings, and obviously, he got Odion Ighalo on loan and that. So the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager in that. But he's still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team. And like I said, he's got big decisions to make in the summer, of what players he's going to recommend in and what players, of course, he's going to get rid of. Like I said, with us anyway, getting rid of players in the summer transfer window, we're going to generate money in that way, so that will also be beneficial. And we are going to get rid of a good 6 or 7 players in the summer transfer window and that. Like I said, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he got recommended in to Manchester United, so let's just put that into the equation. I think a total of 19 players have left the club since Solskjaer came in. Around 8 or 9 senior players have left, and I think around 10 young players also left as well. So there you go. And like I said, Solskjaer will be under pressure, to keep this good run of form up, because before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. We are unbeaten, don't forget, in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. But, but like I said, our number one priority target is Jadon Sancho. Want to get Sancho on the board. Like I said, another one of our priority targets is Jack Grealish. Jude Bellingham, of course, has been one of our priority targets, but looking likely now that Jude Bellingham is going to be going to Borussia Dortmund, because reports from the German press have said that he's turned down and moved to Man United and that. But there has been so many players on our agenda, and Solskjaer wants to get around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window. I don't see that happening. Maybe we could make 1 or 2 signings, but we shall see what happens, because we want to be challenging for the league next season, and, Solskjaer's identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up and that. But there's decisions we've got to make before the season resumes, we've got to make a decision on Pogba's future. We've got to know what's going on with Odin Igalo. We've got to know the ongoing situation with Delors. Solskjaer, of course, has also got to work out his best 11, because he has been making a lot of rotation this season. But I think he's been making a lot of rotation because, of the injuries that Man United have had. Maybe needs to work out his best formation as well, because he has been changing formation a lot, throughout the course of this season. From my own perception, I think, we look more expansive with that 3-5-2 formation and that. So there you go. We've got around 9 players' contracts, by the way, that are due to expire next year. So that's something else, Manchester United do need to resolve as well. So there you go. I've got to credit Solskjaer as well, because I think, he has promoted the youth very, very well. As you all know, our first Premier League game back is Tottenham. Like I said, it was supposed to be playing on the 15th of March, but due to lockdown, obviously, it couldn't. And that's going to be a very, very good game against Tottenham. It'll be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, approaches that game. It really, really will in that. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.